So it's Wednesday the 5th of October, the day after the last of Typhoon Moru has disappeared, and I'm flying the walk I took yesterday. So the conditions today are significantly different. As you can see, everywhere is quite waterlogged. This is not a flood. These are rice paddies and they're supposed to collect water. Here's our pond. It was before the typhoon, a little bit under the jetty, and now really quite close to maximum. We'll probably pump some off shortly. I'm always intrigued by the amount of wildlife that I see here. Fields are full of them. Well, full of fish and crabs and snails and other goodies that birds like to eat. And I think there's 4 or 5 pairs have taken up residence on our land already. But today, when I was flying the drone, I disturbed quite a large flock. These look like cranes, I'm not sure. They might just be large lapwings. I don't really know exactly what they are, but they could be migratory birds. This is the road I walked on yesterday. Some of my flip-flops. It's a bit like skating because clay gets extremely slippery when it's wet. Anyway, the flip-flops came off and I just waded through whatever I came to. The bird's just coming up now. 3-4 palm trees down there. Salmetto palm. And here they are, big flock. Drone scared them off. Anybody identify those for me? Please let me know. There's obviously a lot to eat down there. It's attracted a lot of them. Anyway, yesterday, this part of the road was substantially more underwater, and it was like crossing a river because the water was flowing between the fields at quite a rate. Today it's a bit slower, and I did think, hey, this is a bit odd, because this is flat land, of course. And there's always water flowing in one direction or another, so it's actually not flat, and it's been engineered so that the water will flow between the paddies, which they usually do by just opening up a bank. Not the main clong banks, but those little ones that you see between the fields. This farmer obviously has some sort of mechanical way of planting because his rice is in orderly rows. Most people just scatter their seed or plant seedlings by hand, but it's never normally like that unless it's machined. And as I approached this end, I heard this roaring sound. I had no idea what it was, but looking at the surface of the clong, I thought it was more disturbed than usual, because it's usually just a mill pond. It doesn't really flow at all. But it's still flowing today, and at the top of the screen now you'll just see exactly why. Now this is where 2 clongs meet. One on the right, field in the middle, and the main clong carries on to the left. Have a look at this on the map so they can show you. This is where we've come from. This is where we've arrived at. The pipes mark each clong, and usually those can be shut off, but today they've been breached, and water is flowing out of the fields and into clong 2. And you'll see, if you watch the fields on the right as we continue our flight, that the water is actually flowing quite fast in the fields themselves. Some enterprising farmer here has put up a large fish trap. Those are what the blue nets are. I imagine he'll be catching some pretty big ones. Breach. It looks like it started small and just worked its way up. At the top of the screen you can see another rushing torrent coming through the field, and a further one connecting the next field via quite a long channel. Just going along clong 2, you'll see why I was still hearing a rushing sound. These are cow sheds or buffalo sheds. People like to, there's 2 resting buffalo right now. More rice on the other side. It looks a bit like small trees, it's rice. Banana trees on the opposite bank. Banana can tolerate being flooded. Though those ones are surprisingly low against the bank. And here we are again with more accelerated flow. At this point, I started to lose my connection, and the drone became a bit sticky. I get quite a good signal, but I think this must have been at the range of the drone itself. Because at this point it decided, I think my controller has gone and I'm going to turn around and go home, which is exactly what it did, but I'd seen as much as I wanted.